All right, guys, I'm on a win streak right now. I just won my last two games in a row. I think I won the previous two games before that as well. So I think at least one game before that. So I'm on at least a 3 game win streak. Let me see. Oh, apparently I just lied. Okay, I'm only at 2 wins in a row. I've won 4 out of my 5 last games, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 8 out of my 10 last games. So that's a pretty good win rate out of my last 10. That's 80%. Let's play another classical format game, 10 minutes long. I always run the Sicilian against the king pawn. That's just what I do. I know it pretty well. And most people play the king pawn. Otherwise, they play queen pawn attack usually, and then I do the responses to the queen line. I also move my queen pawn. You'll see that at some point after somebody eventually plays it. Okay, gotta move this pawn up here. See, that's a tricky attack that he did to start. This is not a usual variation. It's pretty interesting. Okay. Yeah, take it. I threaten his pawn, so he must move his knight most likely to defend it. Yes. Okay. I'll develop this guy with tempo and just trade him off. Even though he can develop his knight. Oh, he did not. What I was thinking was that he was going to move this bishop here, then I would trade, then he would take with the knight. But that's what he did instead. Okay, okay. That's fine with me. Move this pawn. Give my bishop space to develop. Okay, if he moves that knight, I will gladly take that trade. My white bishop does not have many squares to go. There's no point in him checking me because I'll just develop my knight right here. So he'll probably castle right now, then I'll castle as well. And then he's got to develop his bishop. This is the most likely spot. Then I'll develop my knight, most likely here. But I can also go here. So many choices. I also want to gain some ground in the middle. Maybe it's better to push this earlier. If I push this, then he takes, then I take. First I have to castle. Push this, then he takes. Then I take. Then he takes, then I take with my queen. And then, guys, whenever a piece is 2 squares away from the diagonal from a knight, that's an easy way to calculate how long. That's an easy way to calculate what the safest square is in terms of avoiding being attacked by that knight. Okay, so now this knight is pinned. I don't know why he did that. I think that was a mistake in my opinion. Now I can advance my knight. This pawn is exposed right now. Exposed to attack because he can't move this knight. Maybe he wants to advance this guy. If he advances him, then I should move my knight away, I guess. Then if he takes it, then I take with my bishop. And if he advances with this knight, pawn, then I just take it. Then he takes with his knight. That looks like a plan to me. Kind of forgot everything I just said though. But I think it was moving this knight here, attacking this pawn. Because it's exposed right now. Okay, that's what he did. And then I said I would move my knight here. Just double checking my strategy. If I move it here, he takes doubled up pawns. My pawns will be doubled up from that. Yeah, that's not something I want. Then also I threaten this. If he doesn't take me, he'll recapture, then I'll capture. Not with this knight, actually with this knight. And then I'll be attacking these two guys at the same time. I want to trade for his bishop, my knight for his bishop, so I would have the bishop pair. I would have more control over both types of squares on the board. And this knight would not be able to capture my guy because he would have to move. And I would just be a pawn up in that exchange. So that would be very beneficial for me. Okay, just as expected. He captured. That's what I would have done too if I was him. So now this pawn is my goal. If he does not defend it, he should defend it. That would be the correct move, to defend it. Whether it's by moving this knight over here. This moving his knight here to defend it would be a mistake because I would take it, then he would be forced to recapture with that pawn to keep the material equal, and it would leave his king's defense with a major weakness. So he's not even fully developed. This piece is not fully developed. I just have to develop my queen somewhere. This a prime spot. This is also good spot, good spot, good spot. Develop my queen. This is the best spot, I think, right here. The other spots are good, but this one's the best. Especially if I could trade my queen there. And then he would recapture and these pawns would be doubled up and I could take advantage of that in the later game. Especially if I can get this pawn as well. If I can move there, trade. Take it, and I'll be attacking this pawn. That would be a good situation for me. This guy seems to be stumped because he's made his position kind of tough. An easy solution for him would be to move here, because then his queen would be defending this pawn, and his bishop would be defending this guy, so he could move his queen wherever he wished. Maybe here, for example. So he would still be defending that pawn from there. Or here. And then here, for example. And he still has to develop this guy probably here. If he develops him here, that's an interesting idea. So I could take this. I could take this. He would lose this. He would take my queen. I would take his queen. And I would be up a piece. So he would lose 2 pieces and I would lose only 1 piece if he retreated his bishop again right after that. I retreated my bishop. Then I would be up a piece. If after that, so first he moves here. If I take that, then he takes my queen. Then I take his queen. Then he takes my bishop. Then I take his bishop. I'm still up a piece because he would lose 3 pieces and I would lose 2 pieces. I don't know why he's taking so long. He's literally taken like 2/3 of his time with this one move. What is going on? Jagar Lamudi Koti. However you say your name. Okay, so he's defending this pawn. Finally, he moved. Okay, so that kind of puts a wrench in my plans. But that always happens in chess. So I can move here. Threaten to trade this guy. It seems like a pretty good move. But I also need to start thinking about developing my queen. So if I move my queen here, then that's a good development move for it. So I can continue to develop my pieces. This guy is still pinned to the queen. and his time is running low, so he's running out of time to think, so he's starting to move faster now. Okay, he made a mistake. He moved his queen away so I can destroy his king's defense by taking that pawn. Then if I move here, I'm threatening this pawn. What can he even do about that? He can move this pawn here, but this situation is not looking good for him. I'm threatening checkmate. So if you move here, what if I take this pawn then? If you retook that, if you took my knight, which I would sacrifice, then I could take this guy. Yeah, that's what I thought. He moved the pawn here. So I could take this guy, then if he takes that, I take this. I'm threatening his queen. His queen has no good squares to move to defend his king. It would just be checkmate. So, please take my knight. I'm happy to sacrifice my knight for a checkmate. And, okay, he saw it. Or maybe he didn't see it, but he saw that I had some sort of plan. He didn't know what it was, maybe. Okay, if I move here, then I fork his king and queen. If I move my queen here, then I take this with the knight. I fork his king and queen, so he has to take with the rook. Take my knight with the rook, then I take his rook. So I would be up that trade. Alternatively, what are my other options here? Same thing applies as before, except that now his queen is defending this square because he moved this pawn up. So for now, I better retreat. That's what I think. I'm gonna move here, and I'm still threatening this guy if he moves his queen away. These two pieces are in danger, actually. Fuck. That was a pretty bad mistake I just made. If he takes this guy, then I would have to recapture there. And then he gets a free piece. Fuck. I messed that up. I should have moved this guy here instead. I did not see this. This is far from over there. Okay, if I move here, captures, I'll recapture. Or if I take here, then he takes this. Then I move here. Then you run away somewhere. No, not there. Probably here. You have no other diagonal squares available to you because of my knight. I think that's the move. I might lose this one. This is not looking too good. I was in a winning position, but I gave it away. That's tough. Oh shit. Now he's threatening checkmate. Okay. If I moved my knight away, he would be threatening checkmate. Oh, but not even. My queen was here. Dang, I didn't see that. I'm just trying to run down his time as well. That's part of my strategy in games like this. When the opponent has really run down their time, then if you start to move a little bit quickly and make sure that your time is high, then you can make them run out of time. Okay, if I move here, then he can check me. Then I would move here. Then what would he do? Now I have plenty of time and he does not have much time though. So that's good for me. Then he would move somewhere like there or something. I don't see many threats for him right now. Wait, if I move here, then he would recapture with check. Dang, my piece is pretty much pinned. That sucks. I guess I just have to trade it then. Fuck. Okay, if I recapture here, recapture. Oh, that sucks, man. I need to keep this position as complicated as possible, even though this is a anti-positional move. That's what the move I need to make, just to keep the position complicated. Okay, attack his bishop. And if he moves here, I'll move my queen here, threatening this guy. He's really running out of time, so he's got to find a way to checkmate me quickly if he wants to win. Oh, did he disconnect? Poor connection, high lag. I think he might have disconnected on purpose. I think he might have given up because his connection was full bars before, if I remember correctly. I think he just knows that he doesn't have time, so he's not going to beat me. Even though he's in a totally winning position, I think he knows that he doesn't have enough time to beat me. So, GG, I win. That's another win in the books. 9 wins out of my last 11 games. You know how it is, guys. Yeah, if you liked the video, leave it a like, subscribe and all that, because I know I'm about to win, so I might as well say that right now, you feel me? I feel good, man. Should I play one more game after this? It's like 9 p.m. I'm waking up at 6 a.m. There we go. It says that he disconnected. I'll play one last game after this. Then that's it. I'm gonna go to sleep, so I can have a good amount of sleep. So I'll be energized tomorrow. Alright. Just let the win screen appear. See you in the next one. Peace.